All right, we're gonna run through this real quick. Just gonna take a look at the um, coaches here. Bears defensive coordinator moves up to head coach Jack Del Rio, and then they released their offensive and defensive coordinator, our offensive and head coach and offensive coordinator. They signed New Hazel. I'm gonna try New Hazel at offensive coordinator and Ron Riviera at defensive coordinator. All special teams guys will be picked best available. Um, Next step, the Blue Jays keep their coaching staff with Harbaugh, Cam Cameron, and Rob Ryan. I believe that's Rob, maybe Rex. I think it's Rob though. Blue Jays keep their coaching staff. The Cobras move their defensive coordinator Singletary, or should I say Coach Singletary, from head coach to defensive coordinator. He steps down from the head coaching position but stays on the coaching staff. Then they sign Andy Reid as their head coach and sign new offensive coordinator Tony Soprano. Looking really good for the Cobras there with their new coaching staff. And then the Demons keep their head coach Jim Schwartz and sign a new offensive coordinator S. Lion. Butchering that, but either way, they signed this guy. It's taking an upgrade from their already really powerful offense. And then there is Rex Ryan there, or Rob Ryan, I believe it's Rex though, as their defensive coordinator as well. And then we'll go to the Dragons. The Dragons dropped their offense, or their head coach actually did a similar thing to the Cobras and took a step back and went to their defensive coordinator, step back from the head coaching position to go to defensive coordinator. And they signed um, the New England coach to head coach for the Dragons, and then Josh McDaniels for their offensive coordinator for the Dragons, and Cornell with their defensive coordinator. And then the Gators signed Jim Zorn as their new head coach. Jim Zorn was dropped from the Werewolves. He was the Werewolves head coach, and then the Gators picked him up and signed him as their head coach. The Gators also released their head coach, their offensive coordinator, and their defensive coordinator, so the Gators are starting all fresh. D Green is their new offensive coordinator who was dropped by I believe it was the Dragons, dropped D Green as their offensive coordinator and dropped him. And then Tony Dungy as their defensive coordinator for the Gators. So the Gators with a whole new coaching staff. Tony Dungy, defense coordinator. D Green for offense coordinator, and head coach Jim Zorn. Okay, let's keep this going. Boom, 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 boom. Go through all the other teams, and the Piranhas keep their head coach Marty Schottenheimer, and they keep their defensive coordinator Junior Seau, and they sign a new our new offensive coordinator Henning, who is rated, I believe he was rated number 1 or number 2 as offensive coordinator. So a huge steal for the Piranhas there with getting Henning there. So another powerful offense getting better on paper, like the Demons and the Piranhas there on offense. So that's pretty impressive. Okay, and then the Rhinos stick with their head coach, and they stick with their offensive coordinator, and they get a new defensive coordinator. They release Cunningham, I believe that his name was, and now sign John Fox as a defensive coordinator for the Rhinos. So the Rhinos are getting even better. They're improving on the defensive side of the ball. And then the Scorpions keep their coaching staff with Coughlin, Knapp, and Pendergast. And they have a really strong defensive coordinator. They're one of the top rated ones in the league. And then obviously the best, and then the best head coach in the league. Like on paper, this, by the way. Okay, and then the Vipers, John Gruden is their head coach. They kept him, and they signed a new offensive coordinator, Saunders, as they released their offensive coordinator, and they also kept their veteran, one of the oldest defensive coordinators in the league and one of the best rated. Kiffin stays for one more year for the Vipers. And then the Werewolves have probably had the best improvement, getting a new head coach and a new defensive coordinator. Their new defense coordinator was, I believe, rated 4th best in the league, and their coach was rated top 3, I believe, in the league. So Marvin Lewis coming in to the Werewolves to help rebuild this team and to get them back on track. And they kept their offensive coordinator. They kept their offensive coordinator, Smith, right at the end, just about to end the video, and he goes off yelling, obviously. And then the Wildcats sign a new head coach and release Billick. And they sign new head coach M. Nolan. And then... Jesus. Hey. And then Holmgren, they kept their offense coordinator and their defense coordinator. And that is it for the coaching staff. Wanted to take a quick look at that. And that's the end of this video. Jesus Christ. Sorry about the yelling.